So I was born August 11th, 1935 in Loudon Hospital in Leesburg, Virginia. I grew up on a farm on what is now Waxpool Road. It was on Route 625 at the time in Sterling. It was on Broad Run. It was in a farmhouse that was completed about the time I was born. It was a brand new house in 1935. One older brother and 5 younger brothers and sisters. There were 7 of us. The youngest one was born in 1947. Sterling was a small farming community in eastern Loudon. There was dairy farms, one right after the other. From Route 7 all the way to the railroad track, it was all dairy farms. We worked on all those farms, helping one another. So I helped milk sometimes. We helped make hay. We helped fill silo and fresh wheat. We went with my father a lot of times to sales on Saturday and went with him in the summertime to stock sales he went 2 or 3 days a week buying and selling, and I really liked going with him to those places. My father sold hay. We hauled hay to Washington, to Alexander. We furnished hay to a riding stable where the Virginian is built in D.C. now. It was baled hay. I mean, it was a big load of hay. But sometimes we'd make 2 loads of hay to Washington on a Saturday. They'd load the truck on Friday and we'd take it Saturday morning and come back and get another load. Maybe the next Saturday we'd all hay to Alexandria, but they made hay all summer so they could sell hay all winter. We had a tenant farmer that did the labor, and I kind of felt like we were working and not getting paid, but of course we got all the things we needed. I don't remember Mother and Father taking us to the movies, but the tenant farmer always took us kids to the movies on Saturday and took us places. He was good to us as if we were his kids. And he worked for my father from 1935 to 1960. He ran the farm. So it was a good life growing up. Until 1946, Sterling only had really a Southern States store and a little grocery store. The new school opened that has been torn down now. It opened in January 1947. I started the 6th grade there, or finished the 6th grade there. So we went to school at Ashburn until the new school opened in Sterling. I remember being on the school bus when World War II started, and Pearl Harbor was attacked. I was in the 1st grade. I remember the older kids being all upset about the war starting. Then there was a high school in Ashburn that burned down on Valentine's Day, 1944. And the kids started going to Leesburg High School then. And we went to Leesburg High School until they built Broad Run. We rode the school bus to Ashburn. I mean, it was an hour ride each way on the school bus to school. Picked up kids that were from the county line all the way to Leesburg. The train was still running, passenger train. If we stayed after school, the last train left Leesburg at 5:30. So you could catch a train back to Sterling if you stayed after school for after school activities. I played football. I didn't play anything else. I played football in high school. It was a different kind of game then. Well, I mean, you didn't have the safety equipment that you have today. No, we didn't have face masks. We didn't have lights. We played all-day games. They had basketball and baseball. I did not play either one of them. We did a lot of running around, a lot of things we probably shouldn't have done in high school. We did some drinking and we went to dances. Back then the high school had Friday night dances at the high school. We had one every Friday night at the high school for, I guess, every year I was at Leesburg High School. And I started going when I was probably a sophomore, and we went every Friday night to a dance, Fridays. And all school year we had them every Friday night. Had lots of girlfriends in high school. I mean, we listened to country music. I tried to stay out of trouble, not cause a problem. I tried to dress like everybody else and not be weird. I had a white sport coat, and it was fun to dress up and go and have a good time at the dances. Really, our social life was going to those Friday night dances. My older brother had gotten a car when he was a senior in high school, and he'd gone to college, so I got to drive his car some before I got one of my own. My first car was a 49 Columbus. It was 4 years old, I think. And we didn't get paid much working on the farm, but by the time I was a senior, in the latter part of my senior year, my father bought me a 49 Plymouth automobile. I guess back then the $400 was a lot of money, but it was for all those years you'd worked on the farm for nothing. It was not a fancy car, but I mean, it got you where you wanted to go, and I didn't care that it was a four-door. And it was ready to go, and I could go. I remember having an automobile accident. We were at a dance in Purcellville, whereas the roller skating rink is now in Purcellville, and we got ready to leave, my older brother and I. And we'd both been drinking. And the state trooper had to move his car to let us get out. And I had an accident in Ashburn on the way home. I went to sleep, ran into a bridge, and that state trooper came and investigated the accident. Randy Poland came by and he took us to Leesburg to the hospital. Broke my nose, broke my brother's collarbone. That was the end of my drinking and driving. Yeah, I joined the Sterling Methodist Church when I was 16 and have been a member ever since. It was a place to socialize in Sterling. It was what my father had done, my grandfather had done. It's what I thought I should do, I guess. My wife was named Martha Rust. I met her at the MYF, it was Methodist Youth Fellowship, Sterling and Herndon Church. And then after she was out of high school, I was in Herndon and saw her in Herndon and asked her to go out. We started dating. We didn't date when I first knew her. I mean, I knew her from the time I was 16, I guess, but we didn't start dating until I was probably 19. She went to church every Sunday with me. She was commuting to Washington. She was working for the Labor Department. We got married in summer of '56, and Daddy had repossessed the house. He'd loaned money to a guy in Sterling, and in 1956 we got married and moved in the house and lived there for 33 years. Well, she was pretty. She was a good homemaker, a good mother to the kids. We went to the beach together. We had good vacations together. We went camping. I worked on nights and weekends. When I had a 4-day weekend, we always went camping somewhere. We'd go on Friday, come back on Monday. I worked all kinds of jobs, electric company, and then I worked part-time at a gas station. I just needed to work to be able to take care of the family. You know, I had a sign in my truck at work. I ran a training truck for 10 years. They put somebody with me for 3 months to try to learn to do the job that I was doing. And I had a sign that said, "Be reasonable, do it my way." And those guys have not forgot that to this day. I mean, I didn't want them arguing about doing it some other way. I wanted them to do it the way that I'd tried to tell them to do it right. Be reasonable and do it my way. I worked there 36 years and 9 months, and I've been retired 30 years and 8 months. After I retired, I bought a motorhome, and we traveled 120,000 miles across the United States. I drove to every state that you can drive to, most of them more than once. I haven't seen any part of the world but the United States, but I've seen a good portion of it. The Ruritan Club started in 1928 in Holland, Virginia. It was done by an agriculture teacher and somebody in town to get the town and the countryside together to do community service, fellowship, and goodwill. My father was a charter member of the Ruritan Club, and he was still in the club. When I was 18, I joined the Ruritan Club. It was something to do in the community, and I was going to the church, and I joined the Ruritan Club, and I've been associated with the two of them ever since. I've enjoyed all the things we've done for the community since I've joined it. I mean, the scholarships we've given, the families we've helped, the food banks we've helped is really different from what we do today. Today we do it with giving away money. Then we did it with helping people that needed help. I mean, there was a family got burned out in Arcola, and we took in 5 children. The mother and father got killed. We took in 5 children and took care of them for 6 months. The Turner family house burned down was a black family that lived on what is Relocation Drive now. We didn't buy the material, but we went out there and built them a house back. We spent 2 or 3 weekends and built the house for them. I enjoy it, have the money to give away, and I really don't care who they give it to. I don't expect a lot of thank yous for what I do. I enjoy doing what I do. If it makes somebody else happy, I'm happy. I don't know. I just want people to be able to look at me and think that I was able to live a good life and take care of my family and those people around me.